Need for Speed have had a lot of different cars over the years, all from classics to modern to tuner, muscle cars and more. But there are some cars in Heat that you use, not knowing how unique it is in real life. So here are the most unique cars in Need for Speed Heat. At number 13 we have the Porsche 918. With 887 horsepower, this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour or 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.1 seconds, with the top speed being 354 km an hour or 220 miles per hour. This car has an 8-cylinder V8 hybrid engine, which the electric engine by itself actually produced 279 horses, which is quite impressive. But what is more impressive is the fuel consumption on this car, a staggering total of 3 liters per 100 kilometers or 78.4 miles per gallon, which is very impressive. Considering the starting price is 850,000 euros and they only produced 918 of these, it makes the fuel consumption not matter because you need the money to buy this in the first place. At number 12 we have the 1989 Lamborghini Contact, and specifically the 25th anniversary version. This car is special because of its design, and it's mostly praised for that more than the engine today and what power it produced. But for the time this was one of the fastest cars out there, producing 449 horsepower and had a 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. This car also has a 5.2 liter V12, which if you didn't know are banned in most Europe, and for that reason becoming even more rare. This version was the most produced with only 657 made. At number 11 we have the BMW M3 E30 Evo. The Evo was an exclusive M3 that BMW made. Although this car was not particularly known for its top speed, it definitely impressed when it came to handling and driving experience. The M3 Evo had a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with 238 horses. With BMW only having 600 of the Evo M3s produced really shows how special these cars are. And what's even worse is that more than half of these cars are still located in Germany. At number 10 we have the Honda NSX R. Honda was looking into making the original NSX more racetrack focused while still having the daily drivability. And so the NSX Type R or NSX-R was born. The original NSX is today a JDM legend, with many praising Honda for its F1-like design and engine. But the NSX-R took it to another level by making it even faster by, for an example, reducing the weight by 120 kilos or 265 pounds. This car was powered by a 3 liter V6 and only 483 were ever made. At number 9 we have the LaFerrari. The LaFerrari, or the Ferrari as they say in Italian, is a very unique one. As of 2020, the LaFerraris are the very last car with an V12 mid-engine, which means that the prices on these things will go up as time goes by. Not that this car was cheap, with the starting price of these things already being 1.3 million euros and only 499 existing, makes it a very rare expensive car. At number 8 we have the SRT Viper GTS. The Viper is very well known for being one of very few muscle supercars, with it carrying a 8.4 liter V10 and being fairly cheap to own compared to other supercars at a $125,000 range. The cool design also helps to why this car holds value pretty well. With only 358 made, it clearly shows just how rare they are. At number 7 we have the Pagani Huayra BC. The exclusive version of the already exclusive Huayra is a car most of us, like 99% of people, will never see. The BC was even lighter and quicker than the original, equipped with an 6 liter twin turbocharged V12 made by Mercedes. When I say it is unique, I really mean it this time, even though almost all of these cars I've talked about are not common. Almost everything in this car is carbon fiber, which you can't say about any car. There are in total 140 of these available today, with 40 of them being roadsters. At number 6 we have the Koenigsegg Regera. The insane Regera has a twin turbocharged V8, which produces 1479 horsepower from the factory, and is one of the very few cars to do so, and is the only supercar to have a transmission with only one gear. This car is also an hybrid, with the battery lasting 35 kilometers, and only 80 of these were ever made. I gotta be honest, this car was cool. What happened? Payback happened. It was just too OP for that game, and I just don't like it for that reason. And that is another thing it was known for, being annoying as fuck. Just like the Hennessy Venom in Most Wanted 2012 and the RSR in Heat. I mean, I will own one, hell yeah, but I will probably sell it after a couple of weeks because I have other cars that I want. Who the f wouldn't want one? What am I talking about? Anyways, on to the next one, which is the McLaren P1 GTR. I don't actually have a lot to say about this car other than that it is meant for track only. And only a handful of these are made road legal. So the probability of you seeing one of these things is incredibly slim, since only 58 of these are made. The GTR has a 3.8 liter twin turbocharged V8 with a total of 986 horsepower. Very similar to other track cars that we have talked about, nothing else really. Oh, and it's the first British car as well. At number 4 we have the Porsche 911 Carrera RSR. This car is a very well known Gran Turismo car and is a piece of art. This car was produced between 1973 and 1975, with it first going from a 2.4 liter to a 2.8 liter, but got a bigger 3 liter engine a year later in 1974. And in 75 they decided to produce 4 exclusive RSR turbos. The 1973 and 74 RSRs had a straight 6, with the RSR 2.8 liter producing 308 horsepower and the RSR 3.0 having 330 horsepower. The turbo version had a total of 450 horsepower, which was insane for the time and it's one of the rarest cars of all time. But it was not included in Heat, unfortunately. We got the 2.8 liter version, which is still pretty fucking rare, only having 55 of them ever made. At number 3 we have the Ferrari FXXK Evo. Ferrari has made some cool cars over the years, with this being one of the best in my opinion. But unfortunately it is a track car only, made for F1, and we will probably never see one on the streets because of that. But in my opinion, she belongs to the streets and the streets only, strapped with a V12 making around 860 horsepower. I wish I could say some more stuff, but it's very similar to the McLaren P1 GTR or the Koenigsegg Regera and the Aston Martin Vulcan, which is the next car when it comes to rarity, with only 24 made. How do you English people make such cool supercars but cannot seem to produce any ordinary sedans or even regular sports cars? It's like they skipped the part and went, first we're gonna make a shitty Vauxhall Corsa and Mini Cooper BMW, and then super duper cool supercars that only millionaires can buy. Fuck's sake, England, fuck's sake. And the last car, and the most rare car in Need for Speed Heat, is a car that we all love and appreciate a lot. It is the BMW M3 GTR. Little did you know that this car was only produced 10 times ever. Arguably one of the most limited produced cars ever. And as you can hear by the name GTR, this car was made for track only. This saddened me a lot, since I always wanted to sit or even just see one for myself. Well, no. No is the answer to my dreams. Just listen to the whine on this thing. This V8 engine is gotta be one of the best sounding cars ever produced. And that is the list, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.